think I've been posting on LinkedIn every single day for maybe 4 years now. In this vlog, this week's vlog, I'm going to show you what content just didn't work in LinkedIn, which ones did work, which ones drove business, which ones drove impressions, and then I'm going to show you the process we go about in terms of creating all the LinkedIn content. It's all focused on pre-validation, so finding pre-validated concepts, ideas, formats, and then applying them to the content. I'll even show you the new series that is my main focus from a content perspective this year. I'll explain how we came up with the idea and why I think it will work as well. It's August 2026, first time on the vlog.
Well, if you want to feature me first time in the vlog.
How are you feeling? Fresh 2026?
Feeling fresh 2026, feeling real good, as you can see by the appearance. I'm not knackered at all, not tired, run down. That being said, I don't know whether you can see this, but total deal amount in the pipeline right now is £103,000. So just in case you're wondering what my mum's getting for Christmas. If you have a look down there, there's a bag full of muddy trainers. And this is a 30k run to the office this morning. Doing a 30k run because I've got a 100km ultramarathon in the calendar, Ironman 10B in the calendar, got a Snowdonian marathon in the calendar. One of the things I've been thinking about this year with the content is that oftentimes it's like very business first, very business focused. And we were talking to Jack Frimston, and one of the things he was saying is that yes, you want to pique interest, yes, you want people to know you for one thing, but one of the things is like, oh, I know this person, and I feel like I know them deeply. So one of the things I've been looking into is try and document kind of the life outside the business as well. It started with Ironman last year and documenting doing that with the guys, and then fired up a YouTube this year where we've been taking a look at basically what does well in that space, what does well in the ultra endurance space, and trying to take the skills that we've gained through the agency and doing everything that we've done to grow on YouTube and launch the video. And we've done 30,000+ views the first month from shorts and long form on there. It started at 4:15 in the morning. It's 17 miles, and my torch, I have a little torch in that bag, it died at about 4:45 this morning.
Do you have a torch on? Do you hold the torch?
I Uber Eats, I can get footage if you want, I Uber Eats a torch from a petrol station last night at about 9:30 in a panic to be like, oh my god, it's going to be pitch black. It's the best torch you've ever seen in your life.
Best torch ever.
I Uber Eats it last night. I didn't charge it properly. It died about 3 miles in, and then soldiered it out for another 17 miles. Headphones died about mile 15. So from mile 15 to about 17.5, I was just silently jogging my way to work. Also, fun fact, if you want to take a look, there is not a single pair of prescription glasses in this office. So every single person in here, every single person is wearing fake glasses.
Right, so I'm going to walk you through how I came up with what I think will be the biggest impact on my content as a founder next year. I'm going to click the mic on here for this while I'm writing. So what goes into a piece of content, there's loads of different things. So you've got the idea. If you think of like what feeds into content, you've got the idea, you've got the format, I say the quality as well. So the idea would be, okay, I'm going to write a post and I want to write about the future of LinkedIn and talk about that. That's the idea. Then I have the format. I'm going to do it in a carousel for LinkedIn. I'm going to do it in a video. That's the format. And it's like the quality. I do a video, but actually it's dog shit. I do it on my phone and it's like really, really grainy. So there's loads of things that will go into that one piece of content. I've simplified it to these 3 things. But the issue is, let's say I post that and it gets like 0 likes, 0 impressions, 0 leads. You'd be like, the content didn't work. But what didn't work about it? Was it the fact that videos aren't working right now? Was it the fact the video wasn't good enough? Or was it the fact that no one really cares about the future of LinkedIn? So one thing that I'm always thinking about when I'm doing my content, founder perspective, is I'm always trying to pre-validate as many of these as I can. What I mean by that is when I go into the idea for the piece of content, when I create the content, I want proof that what I'm doing is going to work. So, for example, if I was posting a TikTok, I know I don't post on TikTok. If I was posting a TikTok though, I would think that like a really casual, I know that works on TikTok because you could look at a top creator, top business creator, a lot of them just do straight to the phone. Like George Heaton, I've seen regularly on TikTok, will do like straight to the phone. So I know that type of content works. The format, like I said, might be like talking straight to the phone, and it might be like a walk and talk. I've seen it work with other people. So that's pre-validated. Then all I need to focus on is the idea. So when the content fails, well, I know the format works. I know the quality works. So I can just keep turning this wheel of ideas and testing new ideas. Let me give you another example. I might know Jake Ward did a carousel on old versus new SEO. The idea is old versus new. He does a carousel. You could argue that the old versus new is a format, and obviously like the quality is like a well-designed carousel. So when I start to think about the content that I'm going to produce, I know that old versus new works. I know that old versus new as a carousel works. I know when it's well designed that performs. So all of that is pre-validated. So what I would then do is I can do old versus new, let's say LinkedIn marketing. And I know that the only thing that might have failed is that people aren't interested in LinkedIn marketing, because I know old versus new resonates. I know a carousel works. I know when it's well designed, it works as well. So everything is pre-validated. I'll give you an exact example I'm using right now. So I want to do more videos in 2026 on my LinkedIn. I didn't want to test a gazillion videos and it all go wrong. What I found though was there were two people who were doing formats I really liked. Sam Parr was interviewing people on his podcast, Money Wise, and then doing a breakdown where he goes, I just interviewed this person, here's all their finances. I really liked that format, that hook. And then Louis Butterfield was doing a lot of interviews with people as well and doing side-by-sides. Format was interviews and then breaking down their insights in 1 minute clip. I knew I was gonna be able to film it good quality, we have all the cameras. So the only thing I had to test was the idea, which for me is essentially LinkedIn marketing. I've recorded, I think, about 4 interviews with some of the best marketers that use LinkedIn for their business, or the best business owners that market on LinkedIn. And as I'm putting out the content, the only thing I need to do is test little things. I might tweak the hook a little bit. I might tweak the idea from calling it LinkedIn marketing to marketing on LinkedIn, or B2B marketing using LinkedIn. Those are little tweaks I can make because everything else is pre-validated. I don't need to think, do interviews work? I don't need to think, is the style right? I don't need to think, is the quality right? I've ticked all those boxes, they're already pre-validated, so I can just focus on tiny little tweaks. And that's why I think my interview series that I'm doing will be a massive part of my strategy. We're not reinventing the wheel, trying to be like massively creating, thinking of a genius content format. I'm taking what I can see works, what the data already shows you from everyone else, and then applying it to our niche, marketing on LinkedIn, and then attacking it from there. We've got 3 jobs open at the minute. If you're watching this, you'd probably be a good candidate to come work with us. We've got an account manager role. It's here in Manchester. You'll be sat right there. Probably. No, yeah, Grayson's got her feet on your chair, so that's not good. Account manager role open here in Manchester, hybrid, 3 days a week. We have a graphic design role open, which is remote, and we have a videographer and video editor role, again, in Manchester, hybrid. You will sit over there. And we're about to put a job role out for our first person in our sales team, or second person over the Morgan in our sales team, but that's not live yet. So account manager in Manchester, videographer in Manchester, or graphic designer remote. If you could fit any of those positions, just find a way to get in contact with me. Send me your portfolio, CV. Let's chat.
You can be in office with 2-time Ironman, ultramarathon, 3 degrees, unbeaten cage fighter, MJR.
Vlogs every Tuesday at 8:30 AM on LinkedIn and YouTube.